Hi there, and thanks so much for picking up a copy of the Iris cardigan. Today, I'm going to show you how to do the join as you go method with the V-stitch squares featured on the front of our cardigan. We'll begin by joining two 4-round squares. The square on the left is completely done, and the square on the right needs one more round. Work your square until you've reached the second corner and you've placed one V-stitch in that second corner. We've now worked two sides of our joining square. We'll now join to the original square in this corner. I'm going to place my loop back on my hook, chain one, and then I'll join with my next chain. In the following corner, I'm going to slip stitch, which will replace the second of my 3 chains in this corner. I'll follow that with a chain, and now I can place the first double crochet of the next V-stitch. I'm replacing the chain with a slip stitch in the chain 1 space of the joining V-stitch, and then I can place the last double crochet of that V-stitch. I can move to my next V-stitch, double crochet in that space, slip stitch to join, and double crochet in the same space to complete the V-stitch. Into the next chain 1 space, I'll place a double crochet, join to the square with a slip stitch, and place another double crochet in that same space to complete the V-stitch. And I'll do this all the way down the line. We've now made it to the following corner. I'm going to double crochet into that corner, slip stitch into the joining V-stitch space, double crochet in the corner again, and now I can chain 1, slip stitch into the joining corner, which replaces one of my chains, and then chain 1. This completes my join and I can finish my square as normal, but if we take a look at our seam, it is obvious here, but there are no additional seaming techniques that we need to do, and we've got a very secure join. So I'm going to finish this square just like normal, placing another V-stitch in this corner and completing the row just like it's written in the pattern. We can now move on to adding a third square to our join here. We're ready to add a third square into the mix, so work that square until 2 sides are complete and you get to the corner. My 2 sides are complete, and my first V-stitch is in my corner. I'll chain 1 and then replace my second chain 1 with a slip stitch into the corner of my joining square. I'll then follow that with a chain 1 and place the first double crochet of the next V-stitch in my corner, slip stitch into the joining square's V-stitch, and double crochet in the corner again to complete the V-stitch. Just like before, we're going to replace the chain 1 spaces of our V-stitches for slip stitches in our joining square. And now we're ready to join our corners. Instead of joining in the gray corner, I'm going to join in the navy blue corner. So I've chained 1 already, and now I'll replace my second chain with a slip stitch in the corner of the joining square that's kitty corner from the one I'm working on. Follow that with a chain 1, then we can go back to the corner of our working square and finish that square. Once you're done with that square, we can work on joining a triangle to the mix. Several sizes of the Iris cardigan use a triangle in the neck shaping. If your size just uses a square, you can use the same concepts that I'll show in this segment of the video. So I'm going to start with a standing double crochet. We're joining to our light blue square corner. So I'll slip stitch into that corner to replace a chain. Double crochet into the chain space and slip stitch into the V space of our joining square. Double crochet into the chain space again to complete our V stitch. And just like before, we're going to continue working in our V-stitch pattern, swapping out the chain 1 spaces for slip stitches into the chain spaces of our joining square. We're about ready to join our corners again. I've chained 1, and just like before, we're going to join to the square that's kitty corner from the one that we're working on. So we're going to work across our previous joins. So going from bottom to top, slip stitch into that space, follow that with a chain 1, and then we can continue on to the opposite side of our triangle and join to our navy blue square. Just like before, we're replacing the chain 1 spaces of our V-stitches with slip stitches into our joining square. And that wraps up the tutorial for the join as you go method used in the Iris cardigan. I hope this has been helpful, and please remember to block your front panels to soften up all of those joins. Enjoy the rest of your project, and please be sure to share it with me on Instagram using the hashtag Iris cardigan.